All right, another day, another Audi A2 job. Today is just going to be a really simple oil change, oil filter, air filter, and hopefully it'll go pretty easily. Now, apparently, everything I bought for this car is in the boot. Oh, there you go. So if you don't know, the Audi A2, it's got this little hidden compartment. There's my Bosch oil filter, wicked. And there should also be, a Bosch air filter as well. And while I'm in there, I also need the jack. But before I do that, let's open up the bonnet. And if you don't already know, on the Audi A2, it's a little bit different. So you've got your little lever as usual, and you open that. And you go around to the front of the car, and you've got this little flap.
Whoa!
Open that. You've got a little button on that side, little knob on that side, and then the whole bonnet comes off. So you take the whole bonnet off, like so. I'll just pop this over here. So whole bonnet comes off, gives you tons of access. So what we need to do, we need to get this off, this cover, and then we can get at the oil filter, which is just there. And then what we need to do then is, luckily I've already taken the under tray off when I was doing the cam belt, so just need to jack it up. And then drain the oil. While the oil is draining, I'll change the air filter, which is down here, but you do it from underneath. But yeah, should be a pretty simple job. Okay, to do this job you need a few tools, not much. So as I've already shown you, new oil filter, I've gone for a Bosch one, and an air filter. You also need a new ring, O-ring for the sump plug, but I just bought the whole sump plug just in case. Tools wise, axle stands for safety. You need a jack. I'm just going to use the standard Audi A2 jack. I've got a couple of chocks underneath the wheels, again just for safety. Gloves, WD-40 in case anything's stuck. You need a 36mm oil filter socket, which I've just picked up. 19mm spanner for the sump plug. I've got 19mm like socket, and I've got a ring just in case. You need an 8mm to get at the air filter. And what else we need? Oh yeah, and we probably need 10mm just to take off the top. It's either 10 or 8, just to take off the engine cover. And then a flat bladed screwdriver just in case we need to prise anything. And also to get those covers off for the jack, but that one's missing, which I'm going to try and find in a second. Oh yeah, and oil. I've got this 5-way 30 Ineo long life engine oil, which is the one which is recommended for this engine. All right, let's get into it. We don't want the car to roll, so you got to make sure your handbrake is on, nice and secure. And then we're going to chock up the rear wheels. We're going to be jacking the front up, so you need to put the chocks underneath the rear of the wheel to stop it from rolling backwards. So I'm going to put one on that side. And now when we jack the car up, it's going to push onto those and it shouldn't go anywhere, and the handbrake's on anyway. Now we'll get the flat-headed screwdriver and we'll just remove the cover for the jacking port. It just pops in here in that hole. So the axle stand goes there, where that rubber ring is. This here, that's where the axle stand goes. So the car is jacked up now, and it's all chocked. We're going to remove these bolts here, 1, 2, 3, just remove this cover. So we'll take that off, and that'll give us access to the oil filter there. So it's 10mm, just undo these. They're not very tight. And now this will come off, and there'll be loads of dust and crap underneath there, like this. And that has come off to give us access to, that is the oil filter on top of the engine. So this is a 1.4 TDI, sorry, I should have mentioned that. And the oil filter is there on top. So I'm going to use my new tool, 36mm socket, which should pop on there nice and easily. I've got a bit of an extension on here too. Just undo that. It's not super tight. Oh my goodness, look at the state of that. This is long overdue. There you go, you can see how disgusting that is. Well overdue a service, this. Right, let's drain the oil out. Right, we're underneath the car, we need to drain the oil. So on the underneath the driver's side in the UK is the aluminium sump, which is here. And if you just look at the back of the sump, that is the 19mm sump plug. So that needs to come undone and we can drain the dirty oil out. So it's a 19mm. There we go. Not too tight actually. So this is the tricky bit. There we go. Oh, not too bad. But as you can see, that oil is thick and dirty, super black. It hasn't been changed for a long, long time. Right, we'll just let that leak out now and drain. And we'll do the air filter, which is over here. And it's very rusty. This one's broken. So we'll take this one out. I'm going to move the camera around so the filter doesn't drop on it. Camera here. There we go. And this just unpops like so. And this falls out. It's not that bad actually. And well, no, it is. It's filthy. You can see how dirty the old air filter is compared to the new one. Obviously that's the old one. It's got bits of feather in it. It's really filthy. Don't know when that was last changed, but this is the brand new one. And in the box I found my other jacking point. All right, so let's get that in. Okie dokie, so put the air filter up inside here. Stays up there. And now there's like a little lip here. So that needs to go into like a little hole there, like a rectangle hole. The Audi A2 is much better to work on underneath than the Alfa is. And as you can see, this screw here isn't actually doing anything, so I will also look to fix that in a second as well. The filter is now replaced, and as you can see, the oil is pretty much drained and it is absolutely filthy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to clean that up, clean the face of that up, make sure it's going to seal nicely, and we're going to put the new sump plug in. So far it's taken me about 20 minutes. Not bad. Just going to let it drain a little bit longer, just make sure everything's out. So while we wait, we will put the new oil filter in, covered in dirty oil. So let's get the oil filter in. There's the new oil filter. This goes at the bottom. So this just pops on here. And now that goes in there like so. And then we tied it down apparently to 25 Newton meters. My mechanics feel. I think that's 25. Yep, click. I'm gonna wipe up all that oil that I've spilt, and then we'll fill it up with fresh oil. Oh, put the sump plug on, fill it up with fresh oil, and then away we go. So yeah, so far so good. I'll show you where we're at. We have got the fresh oil filter in, and that is tightened down. And the air filter is in, obviously from underneath. And now we're going to prepare to get the new sump plug in and put the fresh oil in, and done. That was pretty painless. I've got the new sump plug here, but what I'm going to do is, just to be sure that there's no leaks, I'm going to put a little bit of this silicone sealant on both sides of the washer, just a teeny bit. Well, just on one side of the washer actually. And I've used this in the past on the GTA. It's good stuff. Let's get this in. Oh no. You don't want to overdo this, over tighten this because it's aluminium. There we are. It doesn't need to be too tight. So according to the specs, the 1.4 TDI needs 4.2 litres of oil. So this is 5 litres and we're currently at like 2.5. So let's take this down to 1. All right, we should start seeing some oil on the dipstick now. Yeah, there we go. We're halfway. If you can see that, just halfway. Look how clean that oil is now. But let's run it for a little bit. Make sure there's no leaks. Where are the keys? Keys are in my pocket. Let's see. Cool. It'll say service required. Yeah. But that service is done now and we'll clear that in a second. Oh, it sounds way better than it did. Make sure it's not leaking underneath. No. So far so good. Right. Switch off. Check the oil level. I think we're done. And check the oil level now. Ooh, that needs some oil. Okay, that's better. So what we're going to do, first of all, we need to press this right button here before we turn the ignition on. And then, so we hold the button down. It's difficult to do, so I'm going to hold it with this hand. And I'm going to turn the ignition on. And then we're going to hold the left button. And I think that's done. Turn it off. Turn it on again. It shouldn't say service. There you go, done. And if I press the left button, it'll tell me I need to service the car in 9,300 miles. So that is now clear and done. And that is it. That is a full Audi A2 oil change, air filter, oil filter, done. And it took like, what, half an hour? Easy peasy. Right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you like these Audi A2 tutorials, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers, bye-bye.